Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the we-r-nycafs YouTube channel, your one-stop shop for all things 2021 R Workshop related. Here we're going to get you going, running your very first R code, and in this case, we're going to go ahead and grab some of the code that came with those workshop materials that you've downloaded. If you haven't downloaded the workshop materials yet, you should pause this one, go back and check out the video that shows you how to download the workshop materials. All right, so here we are in RStudio. We're going to keep this one fairly straightforward, and what I'm going to show you how to do is open up a file that contains some R code and then run some of the code that's in the file. This is going to form the basis of what we'll be doing for much of the live workshops. So to open a new file in RStudio, I can use this little manila folder here that looks like a file browser because it is, or I can go up and use the file menu and open a file. Now, if you've opened the project file already after our last video, then you should have a browser open straight up to this folder, this directory on your computer. So to get us started, I'm going to go ahead and grab the first of the introductory scripts or source files here. That's the introductory.r file, and we'll select open. Great. So what this is actually all of the code and comments from the tutorials that are housed online on the static website that goes along with the workshop. And within this, we have a whole bunch of different things. First, you've got this pale green color with hashtags on the front end, or octothorpes, if you like, on the front end of each line. These are comments, okay? And this is kind of our way of leaving ourselves a trail of breadcrumbs in our code. And so you can see I've left a few of these here for you as you go along. You can see what some of the code is supposed to do. For now, we just want to be able to run one of those lines. Each of these lines that is not preceded by an octothorpe is functioning R code, for the most part anyway, unless it's broken code that I put in there to show you that it's broken. And we can run any of these lines in a few different ways. What I mean by run these lines is we're going to take the text that's on let's say line 18 here. We're going to send that off to R outside of RStudio. It's going to go send that to R, and R is going to spit back out some kind of output for us over here on the right-hand side of my screen in the console. Now, your console may be in a different place than mine if you've not gone and tried to rearrange any of these. If you're just opening R for the first time, your console will be down here in the bottom left. We've got some other content that you can check out that explains a little bit about each of these panes. For now, let's say we want to run the line of code that says 1 + 1. What this code is telling R to do is to take the value of 1, add it to the value of 1, and print the output directly to a console. We're not storing this in any kind of container or anything. So we're basically just using R like a calculator here. Now, if I want to run this line of code on line 18, I can hit the run button, and you'll see I get some output. Indeed, 1 + 1 is 2. Fantastic job, R. Fantastic job, participants. You can give yourselves a pat on the back for running your first line of code. If you're not into clicking buttons to run code, you could also control and enter here, speed key combination, and you'll notice those as you start to explore. When you hover over a command like run, you'll actually get the speed key that pops up for it. Now let's say you just ran 100 lines of code and you want to run them all again. Pretend that line 18 now is actually 100 lines of code, or better yet, let's run lines 17 through 27 all at once. And you'll see that it's all printed to the console. R will echo back to you the code that you wrote. In this case, mine's blue. And then it will present any output to you from your code as black text here in the console. Next time we get together here for our introductory workshops, we'll be talking about assigning output to objects that we can store in our environment or workspace. And this will really give us the power that we want if we're going to go and use a programming language, for example, for data analysis. Until then,